1,138. We got the case. Jake Neighbors is waiting. He is probably. I would love to know what the odds would be if we could somehow get the Jake Neighbors 1-1. Oh, I opened the wrong side. All right, well, let's have some fun here. Neighbors is awaiting in allure. I agree. He is just sitting there saying, hey, open me. We start off with a Young Guns canvas. Allison for Philly. I feel like my camera always moves when I... It doesn't need to move. I don't know why it always feels like it moves. We got a portrait for the Oilers of McDavid. So I'm just going to move it a little more over. There we go. We got a Young Guns of Zegras for Anaheim. There you go. One of the big boys already done. Electro for Minnesota, Kaprizov. We got on a roll for Buffalo of Eichel. Dazzlers Marner for the Maple Leafs. Young Guns for Vancouver of Lind. And a Hundo P. Crosby for the Penguins. Damn, I just realized. Sorry, what's he saying here? I just realized I'm not watching live. So much for getting more of the tin. I don't... Frank, what do you mean more of the tin? What do you mean? Canvas of Garland for the Coyotes. Portraits for Boston of David Pastrnak. Young Guns for Vancouver, Michaelis. Electro Heeshear for the Devils. Canvas for Carolina, Teravainen. Oh, that's fair. Dazzlers for Dallas of Robertson. We got a Young Guns for Buffalo of Rustalainen. And a Hundo P of Fox for the Rangers. What did the Fox say? All right, we got Zegras. We need a couple more of the big names. What is Swayman? What else we got? Who are the other big names in this one? You guys remember Caulfield, right? So Swayman and Caulfield we need to get still. We got one Zegras. We need a Swayman. We need a Caulfield. Young Guns for Philadelphia of Cates. Hundo P for Chicago, Duncan Keith. Canvas of Ryan O'Reilly for the Blues. Portrait of Pacioretty for Vegas. Young Guns for the Devils, Tyce Thompson. Electro of Theodore for Vegas. Canvas for Nashville of Ellis. And a Dazzlers for the Devils, Jack Hughes. Jack Hughes. Dun, 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 dun. We got a canvas for Vegas of Pacioretty. Portraits for Buffalo of Darlene. Young Guns for Ottawa of Pinto. Electro of Aho for Carolina. On a roll of Swayman for Boston. Dazzlers for Tampa, Stamkos. Young Guns for the Avalanche of Burrows. And a retrospective Sharangovich for the Devils. Sharangovich. We got an honor roll for Vancouver of Brock Besser. We've got a debut dates jersey, Sharangovich for the Devils. Debut dates. We got a Young Guns for the Rangers of Ranunen. Retrospective of Lafreniere for the Rangers. Canvas of Ryan O'Reilly for the Blues. Dazzlers for Boston, Swayman. Young Guns for Carolina of Keene. And a debut date of Krebs for Vegas. All right. We got a Young Guns for Ottawa of Pinto. Electro of Farabee for Philly. Canvas for Washington of Mantha. Portrait of Kaprizov for Minnesota. Young Guns for Buffalo, Roostalainen. Hundo P of Yossi for Nashville. We got a canvas for Florida of Ekblad. And a Dazzlers for Florida, Spencer Knight. Spencer Knight. All right, second half. Still no Caulfield, still no Swayman. We got to get there. We got a canvas of Dre Seidel for the Oilers. Portrait of Marner for the Maple Leafs. Young Guns for Vancouver of Michaelis. And no neighbors. Retrospective Mikey Anderson for LA. Canvas of David Perron for the Blues. Yeah, Dazzlers of Barzal for the Islanders. Young Guns of Keane for the Canes. Hundo P. Kutchuk for Ottawa. Sort of grabbing them from the back. All right. Come on, big ones. Young Guns for Chicago of Kalniuk. Hundo P for the Islanders of Lee. Base pack, unusual. Young Guns for the Red Wings, Veleno. On a roll of Carlson for Washington. Electro of Garland for the Coyotes. Canvas for the Blue Jackets of Atkinson. Dazzlers, the second one now, Swayman. Swayman. All right, so let's keep it going. Young Guns of Cam York for Philadelphia. Hundo P for Nashville of Yossi. Canvas for San Jose, Logan Couture. Dazzlers for the Avalanche of Newhook. Young Guns for the Avalanche of Burrows. Electro of Farabee for Philly. On a roll of Huberdeau for Florida. And a whole lot of nada on that one. Yeah, I think they're a nice insert. And again, I like the different colors. It makes people want to collect the entire rainbow, which is cool. So, that's definitely a positive. We got a Dazzlers for Florida, Spencer Knight. Young Guns for Anaheim, Drysdale. Electro for Tampa of Kucherov. Canvas of Shattenkirk for Anaheim. Portraits for the Rangers of Panarin. Young Guns for San Jose of Pasichnuk. Hundo P. Pietrangelo for Vegas. And a Vegas Golden Knights on a roll of stone. All right, 2 more to go. We need to get at least 1 Caulfield. Come on. We can do it. Young Guns for San Jose of Pasichnuk. On a roll of Fox for the Rangers. Debut date of a Lankinen for Chicago. Young Guns of Drysdale for Anaheim. Electro Taylor Hall for Boston. Canvas of Matthews for the Leafs. Dazzlers for Chicago, Kubalik. All right, last box. That's already focused. Canvas of Cousins for Buffalo. Dazzlers for Boston of Pasternak. Young Guns for Boston of Aiken. Electro Marner for the Maple Leafs. On a roll of New Hook for the Avs. Portrait for Dallas of Robertson. There we go. Young Guns, Cole Caulfield. I do recommend getting that one graded, by the way. Congrats whoever has that one. And we got a Hundo P of Sean Couturier. So super. Congrats, by the way, but I do recommend getting that one graded. If you want to do a checkout on that. We've got a glossy rookie of Caulfield for Montreal, a Bronze of Knight for Florida, and a Bronze of Swayman for Boston. Last pack magic. Yeah, that was cool, eh? Swayman, Boston. Bronze Pinto for Ottawa. New Hook for the Avs. York for Philly. Byfield Bronze for LA. And a Zegras for Anaheim glossy. Gold of Denisenko for Florida. Byfield LA. And a Spencer Knight for Florida. Byfield, LA, glossy, copper of Zegras for the Ducks. Veleno for the Red Wings, glossy. Denisenko, Florida. York for Philly. Byfield, LA. We've got a good copper of Pinto for Ottawa. Newhook for the Avs. Caulfield, glossy for Montreal. Swayman, copper for the Boston Bruins. Pinto for Ottawa. Swayman for Boston. Swayman, copper for Boston. Glossy of Veleno for the Red Wings. And a Denisenko for Florida. Zegras for Anaheim. Copper of Veleno for the Red Wings. Swayman for Boston. Knight for Florida. Denisenko for Florida. And a copper of York for Philly. York for Philly. Byfield, copper for LA. And a Newhook for the Avs. There we go.